Hi, everyone. My name is Ellen Morris, and I'm the Director of University Partnerships at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. It's a new program at NREL that I'm creating to build and strengthen the engagements that we have with university partners across our entire research portfolio. I'm also a longtime C3E ambassador, and I'm really thrilled to be here today to present the 2019 C3E Lifetime Achievement Award. And this award in 2019 will be going to Denise Gray, and I'm really thrilled to meet you for the first time and to learn about the amazing work you've done. So just a little bit about the award itself so you have a sense of all she's done. This award recognizes women who have dedicated their careers to advancing clean energy and served as role models for women working in the energy sector. They are women who are influential leaders who lead by example, mentor and encourage others along the way while making significant advancements in their field. Denise Gray has done all of that and more in her professional and personal life. She is the president and serves on the board of directors of a company called LG Michigan, which is a global multinational company that is one of the world's largest producers of lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles, definitely moving the transportation sector forward in a significant way. She leads strategy development, engineering, and business creation at LG Chem Michigan to drive innovation and affordability of vehicles of the future. Denise received a Master's of Science degree in Engineering Management of Technology from Rensselaer Polytech Institute and has a BS in Electrical Engineering from Kettering University. Denise is the 9th awardee of the C3E Lifetime Achievement Award, and she joins an esteemed cohort of other outstanding leaders in the clean energy sector. Heather Lyons, who is the engineering supervisor of high voltage battery module and pack of LG Chem Michigan, will offer some personal reflections about her colleague and mentor, Denise Gray, and then we will present the award after that. So Heather, if you would please join me at the podium.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. It's my absolute honor to be here, and I just want to take a quick moment to thank everybody who is here supporting this incredible network of people, and to all the presenters today for sharing your experiences and your advice for helping empower women in this industry. It's been really moving, and I just want to say that all of your information has really made me feel hopeful that I can make a change in the future, and so I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that with us. So it's my absolute honor to introduce you to this year's C3E Lifetime Achievement Award to Denise Gray. She is the president of LG Chem Michigan Incorporated, which we also call LGCMI. So LGCMI is a North American subsidiary of LG Chem, and we're industry leaders in lithium-ion technology for automakers. I work at LGCMI as engineering supervisor for the high voltage battery pack, and I just want to take a few minutes to introduce you more to Denise as a person and as a mentor, because I do get to work with her on a very regular basis. So I see Denise around the office as a very strong female leader in an industry that's still majority men. When we're in meetings together, I frequently find myself, and she doesn't know this, but I frequently find myself admiring her because every time she speaks with so much poise and confidence and intellect. And I actually just recently joined LGCMI the CMI team, but even in my short time with the company, I've been able to witness the healthy culture and the successful business which stems from Denise's leadership and her knowledge. I look up to her both personally and professionally, and I just hope to be as impactful as she has been in this industry. So Denise and I both share a passion for clean energy, but let me distinguish a little bit the difference in our passion. I've been working now for about 10 years, but LGCMI is actually my first position working on electrification. Denise, on the other hand, has spent her entire career working on electrification and clean energy, and her actions have made an impact on a global scale. She served as vice president for a company that specialized in engineering services for an electrified technology company in Europe. She's been vice president for an electrification startup company that targeted the Asia market. She has over 30 years of experience at General Motors, where she headed the electrical powertrain system that launched the groundbreaking Chevy Volt. Her passion for electrification and her intelligence has led to the technology of a battery that didn't even exist yet at that time. She was so skilled that GM even created a new role for her, and they called it the Global Director for Batteries. This was an entirely new title, and which is pretty impressive, and it was all because of how effective Denise had been in that position, developing new technologies towards electrification. So I did start off saying that we both share the same passion for energy and for clean energy, but Denise's actions have really proven why she's deserving of the Lifetime Achievement Award. And just because she's spent her entire career advancing the automotive industry into electrification, it's just truly inspiring. So not have only I been inspired by her, but her pastor has also said that his 3 daughters are engineers now because Denise showed them that they could be. Others have said that she inspires their sons and daughters to take up STEM-related fields, which she's a very huge advocate for. When she visits Palo Alto, instead of networking with tech executives and entrepreneurs that would advance her own career, she actually takes local cars to the local schools there and teaches the kids about engineering, which is something that those kids might not otherwise be exposed to. So this type of positive influence is really powerful, and I think we need a lot more people like Denise that will help promote the STEM field in this industry. By now, we all know Denise's career is pretty incredible, so I'm just going to take a little quick minute to give you a little bit more insight into her personal side. Denise has said, quote, "My life is an example of a person who comes from humble beginnings." This is very evident in Denise on a daily basis as she serves as president of LGCMI. When Denise is in a room, she has this very welcoming and open demeanor that I don't think a lot of people might expect from a CEO. Just last week, we actually both were in Poland for a business trip with a customer, and we decided that there was 5 of us that should probably go visit a supplier that was an hour and a half away. And we had a very small economy rental car. So there's 5 adults, very tiny car, an hour and a half away, drive, and I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna get stuck with the middle seat, and nobody likes to sit in the middle seat. But I'm 5 foot even, so I'm like, all right, I probably make the most sense to sit in the middle seat, right? So I walked towards the car, and as I was about to get in, Denise was actually already sitting in the middle seat, and she had her knees smushed against the center console in this very tiny car. And so I said to Denise, I said, I'll offer to sit in the middle seat, that's fine. And she said to me with a huge smile, she said, no, that's okay. She's like, I'll take it on the way there and you can have it on the way back. So this is just one small gesture, but incredibly kind, and something that I don't think a lot of people would expect of a president of a company. And just one small example of how she's very humble and grounded and very, very kind. So Denise has, and still is, guiding the auto industry toward a cleaner, more environmentally friendly future. I've only been able to give a small glimpse into why she's deserving of this award, but I hope everybody understands why I and many others look up to her as a leading professional. With that, I'd like to invite Ellen back up to help me present this award.
My heart is full listening to Heather, listening to all of you wonderful people. I just want to take this and every week just have it replayed in my mind because, we all know all of our jobs and lives are challenging, but to have an opportunity to be here and to feel all the love and the energy for each other is just an amazing an example of an organization who was created. And I don't know who were the founding members, but I just say that you were amazingly blessed to know what was needed and was able to come together and pull it off. And this is just, my heart is completely full, and I do truly appreciate it. I asked Heather to come because as the organization is continuing to form, we're looking for those people in our organization that's got the right stuff, the right attitude towards continuing to innovate, those who have the attitude to continue to work hard, to work together globally, who has the it. And Heather's one of those people, and that's why I asked her if she wouldn't mind coming and being a part of this. But I don't think either of us had any idea what we're in store for. So thank you so much for the C3E organization and the sponsors. I have to also give thanks to the companies that I've worked for. I worked for LG Chem, I've worked for AVL List, and I've worked for General Motors and Ativa. All those companies had the wherewithal to give me the opportunity because, quite frankly, that's all that any of us want, is an opportunity, a fair opportunity to be able to contribute and to be able to give. And I thank God I had those opportunities from those various companies. I also have to thank my family and my faith because, quite frankly, they are the wind beneath my wings. My husband, Kevin Gray, is here, and he's always been extremely supportive of me in this area. And of course, I have two amazing sons, Taylor and Nathan, who both, even though we try to diversify their thoughts on an industry to be in, because Kevin and I both are in the automotive industry and engineering, we tried to give them a broad view of what else they could do. Somehow they ended up right back into the automotive industry. So we tried, and we gave them an idea of doing other things, but I really do thank God for their encouragement and their patience, and all of us doing our homework at the kitchen table. We're doing email, they're doing whatever they were doing at the kitchen table those many, many years. And then, of course, because I come from a Southern family, my mom grew up in Arkansas, my dad grew up in Georgia, and I'm telling you, there's something about that love of a big family that's all around you to support you in whatever you want to do. And I thank goodness for my mother and my sisters and brothers and aunts and uncles and cousins, and there are a lot of them at Thanksgiving dinner that's there with us all the time. But this industry, I try to tell everybody, we are in the now when it comes to the automotive industry and to the energy industry. There's been so much work done by all the researchers for so many years. In fact, when I came into this industry at General Motors, I was amazed by the work that the Department of Energy and the Automotive Consortium had been working on for years to try to develop the battery technology. And we're encouraging companies, I don't care where those companies came from, whoever had great idea and great technology, the DOE and General Motors, Ford and Chrysler at the time said, come on in, we need to be able to move this technology. And I came into that with that already established. And so all I had to do was just throw my hat in the ring and just continue to work with those organizations. And with that, we were able to bring lithium-ion battery technology for commercialization, not for just a few a couple of thousand here and a couple of thousand there, but we went in it for the big game to bring battery technology to the industry. And I'm telling you, from those in Washington, D.C., those Governor Granholm, who was an awesome governor for Michigan, and GM, Ford, and Chrysler getting together and really with a focus on how do we make it happen. Amazing things happen. I'm telling you, I have been in an industry where I feel like I've been to that mountaintop where people are working. No one's saying, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that, what about this, what about that? But people really coming together and making things happen. And that's what happened in the 2006 to 2010 timeframe. Even though the automotive industry was going through many bankruptcies, the thing that they continue to do, which I applaud those leaders at those automotive industries, especially General Motors, because I was right there listening and watching it, they never held back on pushing the lithium-ion battery technology, the GM Volt, because they had evidence based on research, based on industry, that it can be there. And it was all of those like us who have that energy to push forward was right there to kind of keep it moving, and it happened. And it's been happening in an accelerated way ever since then. And so now people can't say it can't happen because we look outside, we watch what's happening, and it is happening. So the battery technology, cleaning up the grid, coming up with efficient ways to produce is happening. Yes, there will still be chatter, there'll still be noise, there'll still be it can't be done, what about the affordability of it? And all of that is yes, 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 but all of us in this room that are used to seeing what the challenge is and coming up with a methodology of solutions to fix it, we go, bring it on, we can do it. And so that's why this time is now. It's more than it has been in the past, and I feel with encouragement from the people in this room that it will continue to accelerate in a way that we can't even imagine. Did you know we have reduced the cost of batteries since 2010 to where we are today by 75%? Amazing, isn't it? People wrote, it can't be done, it can't be done. The rest of us read it and go, they just don't have a clue. And we just continue plowing forward. And so I say that today as you are all in your everyday entities, be it at the laboratories, at the universities, in industry. Don't read the press, just keep doing it. Because quite frankly, you will be the ones who make it happen and have made it happen. So I'm extremely encouraged by what I see today, what has happened in the industry, and what's going to be in the future. Unfortunately, I'm 56 years old, which means now I'm accepting lifetime awards. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I thought that happens when you're like 75 or 80. But that's okay. I just want to have another lifetime award at some point when we have even more of an efficient grid or ways where we're actually cleaning things in such a way that people go, how did we get here? In fact, sometimes I always think, maybe if I can just beam myself to 2030 or beam myself to 2050 to see what it looks like, boy, that would be awesome. But we're going to have to work our way through there. I like to also give great homage to those who have helped me in the past. 2 weeks ago, I received a call from my 7th grade teacher. I had not received a call, had no connection with my 7th grade teacher, Mr. Oliver, since I left 7th grade. And my mother calls me and says, somebody's going to call you in 10 minutes. Don't ignore the unknown phone call. Answer it. And I go, okay. So I answered it, and it was my 7th grade teacher saying that somebody had sent him an article about me, and he was remembering back when we were in 7th grade, and where he gave me extra math and science work because I had mastered that what the normal class offerings were. And he took aside 4, 5, 6 of us and gave us more work and encouraged us in the STEM industry to really pursue those things that are of math and science. And I, being an obedient child, I said, if he, who's looking at me like he cared, says, this is what I think you can do, I'm going to do it. I had no idea what engineering was. I was going to be a teacher, math teacher. But he said, you will be really good at math and science. I think you'll be a really good engineer. And that's what started me on my way to where I am today. And so while I was talking to him and reflecting on that time, he goes, you were always the good student, sat right up front, and you were looking at me, and I had to be on my P's and Q's to make sure I gave you the right amount of work. And I took you to math competitions. And I said, well, what else have you been doing since we last seen each other? He says, I went on to teach high school math and science. I was the robotics teacher for 15 years in high school, and there are many of my disciples out there doing great things. And so I just wanted to say that because in our busy lives, whether we're a teacher, whether we're a scientist, whether we're an engineer, we're going to encounter people who all they're looking for is just a little bit of encouragement, of a little bit of not just thinking about ourselves, but by looking at others and giving them that encouragement. And I'm asking all of you to continue to do that, because all it took was one teacher who had the audacity to push forward. And I'm sure he didn't get paid not one extra dollar. I'm sure I don't know if he went into the principal office demanding additional raises or not. I don't know. But all I know is I could see, he saw me, I saw what he was trying to do and to encourage me, and I took upon it. And so please, if we can keep encouraging our children, if we can keep encouraging each other like this forum is doing, amazing things that we could not even imagine can come to fruition. Lastly, while I was at General Motors, I had a vice president who I didn't quite agree with all the things he did and how he did it. But he spoke to an audience and said, we must take the development of technology in our own hands. In our own hands, we must develop the technology so that we can plot our own course, so that we can be in control of our own destiny. At that time, most of the battery technology was being developed in Asia, not developed here in the United States. And he very seriously said, I'm going to create an organization here at General Motors where we're creating the technology ourselves, and we can play a major part into controlling our destiny, so that we can have better fuel economy, we can have better emissions. And when he said that, and again, he didn't say it to me personally, he said it to an audience, but I was listening. I wasn't doing my email. I wasn't doing my Facebook. I was listening. And even though I didn't always agree with how he did things, when he said that, that told me those of us who live in the United States of America, who have been blessed with great scientists and laboratories, that we have an obligation. It's not because we have to, but because somebody is paying us. But we have a personal obligation to continue the development of technology that can help not just us here in the United States, but the entire world. And those who are willing to partner with us throughout the entire world, we ought to do that. So as I joined LG Chem, one of the reasons why I joined a non-American company was because they had something to offer the world. They had technology to offer the world, and those who were willing to take it were those who were going to position themselves to be also a contributor, a participator, a participant in that activity. And so I joined LG Chem, not because it was a great paycheck and great, we were driving in that little bitty car. I felt like I'm in a circus, and you know how the clowns get out of the car? That's what we were doing, because I work for LG Chem, but that's okay. But because they had awesome technology that they were offering the world, and I wanted to be here in the United States, where I can partner with the DOE, and I can partner with universities, and I can provide that technology to the GM, the Ford, the Chrysler, the Tesla, whoever here, so that those of us who live in the United States and those who design and develop technology for the world have access to that technology. And so it's a greater purpose. And I truly, truly agree, and I thank you so much for this Lifetime Achievement Award, even though I'm not 75. But I truly thank you for this award. I encourage those who are here in this in this forum to share what you've learned and seen today, because it is powerful and it is needed and it is wanted. And I thank you so very much.